what's up, y'all? Appreciate you joining me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yo, today, we're gonna talk about some good stuff. I'm up here doodling. Let me change it to a different pickup. Anyhow, today what I'm going to talk about is actually like last time I was talking about how to move different bass notes with the same triad. Well, this time I actually want to talk about using the same bass note and moving triads, just kind of exploring how that looks. And I appreciate the love, man. I definitely notice how you all want to explore more with triads. Okay, so I might just hang on this subject a little bit. I may do some stuff from that. So I'll kind of combine some stuff and dissect some stuff. We'll see. But anyhow, we're gonna stick with the key of A today. Okay, we're gonna do the key of A. The reason why we're gonna do the key of A is because the A major chord is, you can play an A major in an open position. Now, an open position means that you're utilizing some notes that don't have to be fretted, basically. Okay. So here is an A major chord. So I'm not fretting the high E. I'm not even playing the low E, but in the A string, which is the fifth string up, is open. So I'm only fretting the second fret right here on the second, third, and fourth strings. For this lesson, the second, third, and fourth strings is hugely important. Similar to the last video, okay? Either the second, third, and fourth strings, or three strings at a time in general. All right, so think second, third, and fourth strings, third, fourth, and fifth strings, okay? In terms of how I will be playing the triads, but I will likely stick to second, third, and fourth strings. And this is what I'll be playing my triads from. But keep in mind, you can play triads different types of ways. You can, you don't have to, they don't have to be, three strings close. They can be, apart. You see what I'm saying? You can skip a string. You can play it skipping strings. So I'll talk about that later. Anyhow, the key of A. So let's reference from different places how you can actually play an A major. All right. So turn this delay off. I'll turn it back on when I want to get pretty. Get the pretty chords going. All right. So I'll keep the reverb on. All right. There's the A major scale. This A, I'm basically coming from this fifth fret on the E string, or if I want to go to the D string right here, okay, on the seventh fret. You can also like kind of go the reverse way, even though I'm doing the regular intervals here. You can also, I did this in the key of, I think C. It was C or G on the last video. You can go from here, this A right here. You can actually play two whole steps right here on the same string. Two whole steps from that seventh fret on the D string. Then from that 11th fret, just a half step right there. Easy, right? Now another way to play that is, so whole step from the A, and then you can do a whole step from the 9th fret to the 11th fret. But if you want to go to another string, you go to the G string and you go to the 6th and 7th fret. You can do that. Or, so you can, man, there's so many like tricks. Anyway, so whole step, half step, and then go to the D to the A string and do the same thing, same frets. So that's the same as this. Or you can go from the A on this D string on the 7th fret. So this is 7th fret on the D string, whole step from there. Then go to the G string, 6th and 7th fret. So you can do that. And then go to the A string and do the same thing, but from the A string. So that's also a way to play a major scale. Instead of going, you can do that too. I just want to give y'all some other ways to actually play it. Okay, you can even there are different ways to actually do it. I'll go over that last way. Some of y'all already seen that. So let's get on this actual lesson. All right, let me bring my chart up real quick, and hopefully this is helpful. But I wanted you all to see the reference. All right, and here are the chords actually. So A major, B minor, C sharp minor, D major. Here's E major. What's that? F sharp minor. Right here. All right. What's that? A flat, B sharp. Half diminished. Back to A. Now here are the charts. Some of y'all like, man, get to it, man. Listen. You got to be willing to sit through these lessons, yo. You know, sometimes I'm gonna get to the point, and sometimes I'm gonna be a little long-winded. So here we go. Okay, and let's start with what I just showed you, just in case you need help with that. I'm gonna play it. All right. First of all, is that too loud? Is that too loud? All right, so let me start over. Let me bring it down a little bit. Just a little bit. A little louder. All right, cool. Let's go back. All right, so here's the A major. Here's pretty much what I just played, okay? All right, there's that B minor. There's that C sharp minor. Here's the D major. E major. There's the F sharp. There's the G sharp. I think I said, what did I say? I said B flat. What was I talking about? Did I say A? I said something crazy. G sharp. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, G sharp, A flat. If that's not what I said, I apologize. Then back to A. All right, so a lot of us already got that. As far as intermediate level, maybe, maybe. We pretty much already know this part, okay? So let's keep that in mind, okay? And I'm actually about to get to the actual ways that you can do this. It's really one main way, okay? All right, let's move to the next part. I just wanted to kind of do that so y'all can pause you can get the charts and do whatever you need to do. All right, so let's move on to the next part. All right, so now let's actually explore the keeping the root the same, okay? And it's very important to open your mind up to this because now you have access to more chord combinations or whatever you want to call it. Okay, there are some technical terms for it, but I don't want to get into that. And let me mention this really quick. Like, what is this useful for? It's useful for, let's say, when you're writing a song and you want the song to build, basically. You don't want to, like a lot of beat makers, I make beats, I do that. I make music and compose as well, different processes. But most of the time you want the song to build. And if you're doing a guitar part of a song, you don't want it to just come out the gate just rah. You don't want to do that. You want it to build. So a good way for a song to build or for notation to build is sort of holding down the A major. So, but if you want it to move, you could go to that too. That's cool, but what if we keep the root the same? That has a little more suspense, a little more tension, like subtle tension maybe. No dissonance, but just just a little bit of subtle tension. So let's go and let's see how that looks. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm keeping the A the same, okay? And I'm moving all the other chords, mainly focusing on strings 2, 3, and 4. Now, when I say 2, 3, and 4, I mean, 2, 3, and 4 right here. It's just these, I'm keeping these the same. I'm fretting these and I'm keeping this the same rather, okay? So let's go. Okay, so there's that B minor over that A. There's the C sharp minor triad over the A. There's the D major triad over the A. Here's the E major triad over the A. All right, there is the, what is that, F sharp minor triad over the A. And there's the G sharp half diminish over that A. And if you were to make it a chord like the A and that G sharp half diminish, that particular triad is actually a minor, I think it's a minor seventh triad. No, it's a minor triad. But if you were to keep the E or keep the A, it makes it a, I think it makes it a B minor or something like that. It's something, scratch that. Scratch what I just said. That's not what it is, but just know that when you're doing like a major seventh triad, that's also like a minor type chord as well, okay? I just want to stay focused on what I'm doing. It's a minor seventh triad. And then back to the 1, okay? Back to the 1 right here. Now, how does that sound though? I mean, we got software and that is cool. Software is always cool. But let's go to the actual sound of it, okay? I think at this point, maybe I'll add my delays to beautify things. There's the 1 with the A major. Okay. Not quite. There we go. Let me start over. I lost track. And what if we were to like, give it some, like play with the order of it, and it has more of a classical approach. Think of Sounds of Music. Uh, and then if we actually from there we start to incorporate the actual chords. You know what I'm saying? So it gives it more. It gives you more choices, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But if you were to incorporate, and you go to the four, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. I haven't even like delved into all the things that you can do with that, but you can do so much more with it, with that idea in mind. Um, let's say, just keeping this part in mind. This I'm deviating at this point. This is more like pre-advanced, maybe advanced, maybe depending. But if you were to keeping guitar in mind primarily, using your open position, and let's say we were to just do like a minor chord in an open position. Let's do this E minor. But we wanted to apply the same concept, but obviously we would be in a different key, first of all, okay? In this scenario, we could actually make it, let's say, the key of, let's say this is the 2 chord. Okay, so if this E minor is the 2 chord, then, so this is D. So E minor is the 2 of the key of D major. But let's just say we wanted to kind of keep that same theme going. Well, this E minor has, unless let's say we made it a minor 7, okay, is the same as a major. Not an A major, but an actual B major. No, A major is the 5. So we have that, right? But when we bring it in, we're actually playing on the 4. We're playing a G major. So that E minor 7 is almost like playing a G major. Okay? Almost. So you can make it as though you're going 2. Now we're going to move the triad on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. But we're going to only play that open E as the root that we're staying on. So all right, we can go to the 6 if you want to. And this is exploration, all right? We can go to that 4 if you want to, which was the first thing we played anyway. Here's the A again. Just different voicings, okay? Same thing as this. Here's the D. All right. So these are different colors, but same chord. But we're doing it from the 2. And the whole purpose of keeping that E the same is just is giving you more colors basically. You can do it from the 3. If you're making this, if you're making the 3 the open chord, which is still a minor chord, okay, and you can make it a minor 7 chord. This is E minor 7, but if this is the 3, the third position of a major chord, then that means that C is the major chord. All right, now you can kind of play with that. Then you go to the F. You got different stuff going on now. Now let's go to the G major, then the C major, then the D minor. So it gives you more options. So again, I like that. I think that's kind of cool. All right. So that was just a couple of examples. I didn't show any charts with that, but you kind of got to know that last one. That was the key of C. In order for you to understand it, maybe, and maybe you can just make the connection. But knowing that major scale is very important. That's one of the ways that you can reference it. Now, I'm going to go into these subjects much deeper in my private community, but yeah, that's pretty much, that's how you do it. So, let me know if you have some questions, and let me know if it's helpful. I'm all about exploration. You don't have to stay locked into, back to the A chord. Let me stop my music real quick, which is something I created, just in case you know. You can always do the full stuff, You can always do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to this camera. I think my battery went out. But so yeah, we can always explore that, okay? Just keep that in mind. And let's go on and bring it out. I think my battery ran out. I should have put my power supply on it. But anyhow, I appreciate y'all. And yeah, let me know if any of this is helpful. And what am I going to name this? Moving Triads, or Triad Tricks Part 2, Triad Secrets Part 2, something. All right. So thank you all. I appreciate you. If you would like to subscribe, you can. I don't push that a whole lot, because I figured if you want to, you will. All right. So peace. And I'll be coming with some more tutorials as well, like some song tutorials. I feel like y'all be getting bored with that a little bit, but I will be bringing that. All right, I'm just working on the notation. Sometimes the notation takes a little longer than I would like for it to, so that's one of the reasons. So, but all right, check you out. And I love y'all. Thank you for the support. And I appreciate it. Peace.